Can't believe this. I just had to run in here from being out in the hallway, taking out some recycling, because the violent thug who Greenville chooses to continue to house in the unit directly below this one, Unit 76, and who has come up here to my door for no reason on multiple occasions over the last couple of years and has violently either physically shoved me, thrown things at my head, or tried to break down my door, just now started repeatedly slamming his door directly below this one as I was going out to the hallway to take out some recycling. It is 5:45 a.m. on Thursday, March 28th, and the psycho thug, who is so violent that he apparently has been legally contained in the unit below mine, keeps coming up here or becoming violent directly below wherever I happen to be standing in this unit, or when I go out into the hallway, he starts repeatedly slamming his door directly below this one to let me know that he has knowledge of what I do when I am in this unit or when I'm on this floor, and he knows where I am. He actually demonstrated the ability to know exactly where I was in February, just a month ago, when he literally came up to my door as I was down the hall in the common bathroom and came up the rear stairwell to try to confront me in the common bathroom down the hall. And when he didn't see me there, he came up to this door and stood in front of this door as I was trying to come back to this unit from being in the bathroom down the hall. And he became violent towards me when I attempted to get back into this unit while he was standing in front of the door and blocking it. This individual is not normal. He has some serious violence issues. He accused me of being on the autism spectrum, which means that he himself is on the autism spectrum, because he's obviously one of these stupid psychos who basically just repeats what people in authority tell him about himself, and then he throws it back at people who he doesn't like. So, I mean, anybody with a brain in their head can tell that I'm not on the autism spectrum. That's pretty obvious. And I've had such professional success in 2 different fields of science that there are dozens and dozens of supervisors, coworkers, and witnesses who can attest to the fact that I am most definitely nowhere near the autism spectrum. I'm just a scientist. There's a big difference between being scientific and being on the autism spectrum. Autistic people are actually usually very low IQ and have other developmental disorders besides just autism. And they obviously have some uncontrollable violence that causes them to physically assault people for no reason, just like the thug directly below 76. But right now, he just starts violently slamming his door. It's 5:45 in the morning, and I was being very quiet when I was leaving this unit to go down the hall to take out the recycling, which I now have had to leave in the rear stairwell because I don't feel safe or comfortable going back out there and taking it all the way down to the street. So yeah, that just happened. Greenville refuses to do anything about the violent tenants that they select to place in units in this building. And I was told years ago that this building was for people who are functional and who have full-time jobs and who pay their rent out of pocket, which is a complete lie, because the mentally disturbed psycho thug directly below 76 never seems to leave his unit, and at all hours of the day and night becomes violent and aggressive towards me, because he obviously has issues towards anybody who isn't as dysfunctional and violent as himself. I have a PhD level education in clinical developmental psychology, and I instantly am able to size up other people's behavioral issues and their psychological disorders as put forth in the DSM-4-TR and the DSM-5, which are the statistical and diagnostic manuals of the American Psychological Association and the American Psychiatric Association, but which the low-life scum in this building have no knowledge of. That's why they just throw these labels around, like autistic, schizophrenic, delusional. They have absolutely no idea what those disorders constitute or require in order to be properly diagnosed, but they like to throw those labels at me because that is obviously what their mental care providers have told them about themselves. Obviously, I mean, you're dealing with such low IQ, violent thugs that do nothing but stalk people and sit around and smoke marijuana all day long and smack the wall of other people's bathrooms when they have knowledge that the people in those other bathrooms are using the toilet. I mean, these are also sex offenders who've obviously, been incapable of controlling their sick and twisted impulses towards other people, and that's why they become violent when they can hear or see somebody using the bathroom or using the toilet. They get all jiggy and worked up because they're just so sick and twisted, and nobody does anything about their behavior, which is why I keep making these videos. So right now, the psycho thug directly below started violently slamming his door at 5:40 a.m. when I went out to the hallway very quietly to quietly take out a few bags of recycling and try to put them in the rear stairwell to take them downstairs. Now I can't even leave this unit because I don't know where that psycho thug is between the floor below and this one. And because he has come up to my door on probably about 10 to 12 occasions over the last 2 years and taken it upon himself to physically, aggressively assault me, putting his hands on me or throwing things at my head or taking the cell phone out of my hand and running out of the building with it and then throwing it into a snowbank and then retrieving it a few hours later because the police talked to him and then leaving it back at my door. I mean, stuff like that. I do not feel safe leaving this unit right now. And that's too bad because now the trash is in the stairwell, but I'm not responsible for it because I keep getting aggressively stalked by the psycho thug directly below in 76. And it's only 5:40 a.m. Why is he even awake? I've been sitting here quietly, sitting at this table, sorting through papers and, washing my hands and having a few snacks. So he keeps saying that he can hear me walking around, but no, I'm not making any noise. I weigh 135 pounds and I wear rubber-soled shoes that are, not high heels or clicky or anything like that. So he has no reason to get violent towards me, except that he himself is a violent, mentally disturbed, clearly autistic, and apparently legally confined individual.